Hi there, Gemini. Kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to what I have to offer you as far as readings from the spiritual realm, from the higher being energy, galactic realm as well. So they come through with you with these for guidance and messages, and from the angels as well. So I work a lot with the God energy or the Christ energy, many different energies that come through, obviously, who are of the highest, bring through messages, who are of the highest, on the greatest of good, for the greater good of one and all. So when I ask and talk about questions and bringing them through, the guidance through, it's generally about what is, for the greater good of whatever sign that the messages are channeling through, and what I'm picking up intuitively, and how they're giving it to me to direct to you. So one of the things that's coming through is a lot of my readings that I do are generally readings / healing. So there you probably, or you may feel, or you may not feel some energy coming through. It could be through heat or tingling, or just this, this sense of well-being, energy that comes through. It's, that helps you to settle a bit, or calming. And and also the guidance that comes through is, all about encouragement, and and positivity is in, to looking at things and shifting things to to from another perspective in that sense. So there'll be / your reading, healing sort of energy that comes through. So I invite you to just go with it. So I've got a lot of energy that's coming through, that are wanting to participate in the work that I do on these videos. So through with their encouragement and support, here I am, and here we go. So anyway, I just feel like I wanted to say that, so whoever out there will understand this. Okay, so we're just going to get going, and and I'm going to do I really don't know what I'm going to do. So we're going to do I want to go for 4 card spread, but basically 4 across, basically, with the main cards. And so we're going to hear from the angels, so Archangel Michael, then Archangel Raphael, and then here's one from the collective of angels. Actually, Archangel Michael, one of his cards is stuck into that deck, so we're going to hear from Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, so they have a message for you too. So anyway, the first card out is the garden and the gate. So number 30 on there. So there's something about, I feel like, balance or balancing there. And with this garden and the gate, there's something like you've grown, or you've grown, and it's kind of got to a point where you may be starting to like fertilize something. I don't know, or you've been fertilizing something on the other side of that fence. And it's like there's something, I feel like there is, like out in the big yonder, where there are paddocks and fields that have been sown, something is growing. So I feel like with whatever that you've been doing in the recent past, in the distant past, but something that you've been growing, like could be within, could be with family, could be with relationships, could be with your job, your business, a career, could be through studying, whatever it is that you've been growing. It's like, I feel like you're at a stage where you can open that gate and start to move on, because with you growing, whatever it is that you've been learning, being, doing, teaching, sharing, on this journey of adventure, and what you've been, the knowledge and the wisdom, and the experience that you've had, and through situations and that sort of thing that you've gained, is like, it's like, I feel what the spirit are talking about, it's like it's spilled out now, and so it's time for you to go and start to sow some seeds, or grow whatever it is, and whatever it is that you've learned, or whatever it is that you've learned along the way, into other pastures, basically. So I feel like what they're talking about for some of you is like to open that gate and either begin something, or and see what it is that you can grow, see what it is that you can it can grow from what you already know. Okay, some of yous will be taking a pathway like without you've grown and you're expanding, basically is where they're going through that, but they wanted to and what they will do with me, they'll put it another way. So basically for some of you it is about taking what you've learned and putting it out there, which is something, could be something brand new, but the knowledge and the seeds that you've already sown, and that, you know, there's something that's growing, you know, that's blossomed and it's growing, and it's now time, what I'm hearing is to move on and share what it is that you already know and already know. But it's like, you know, because when something blossoms, you know, it's going to seed, you know, again, or it's going to like die back in order to regrow. So there's a sense of you're at your peak now with a lot of yous, and I feel like some of yous, it's like you may be feeling like you're, you know, like not pushed, or some of you may be feeling pushed, or some of you may be feeling like, right, it's ready to go. I'm ready to expand or move on to other pastures, not necessarily greener pastures, but it could be, you know, some like, it could be greener pastures. I'm not saying that's a negative on that, put it in a negative way, but what I'm saying is where they go. What are we saying? What am I saying? So you're moving on to greener pastures, but actually creating greener pastures. And green is not saying the other ones weren't green as well. So there's a learning from that. So I feel like some of you may be like looking at something on saying that from a negative point of view, in the sense is like, oh, well, you know, this and that, you know, what am I going to do with this, and what, you know, what's in the future and that sort of thing. So I feel like switching the narrative around and like looking at it from another point of view. So what you are going to do is like, even though there is like in the background, there's some of those fields, and like in the hills there is like, there are, when you look at closer at this card, if you have got this deck, there's rows of, you know, rows there that have been ploughed and ready to plant seeds in. And some of them I feel have already got seeds planted in there. So something is ready for you to move on to and expand your business, your knowledge, your wisdom, your and by through sharing. But some of you will be, and don't forget, we're learning as we go along. We're always learning. Well, I see that as that anyway. And take those experiences as learning. Okay, that's where they're going with that. And, you know, allowing yourself to expand and grow. So some of you might want to jump the fence, some climb over it. Some of you might want to open the gate, make it easier for yourself and allow yourself to go there. But what I'm hearing is it's like really is moving on. So, and moving on and moving through something. And it, like I said, this could be with a relationship, could be with some work, it could be with your business, could be with... you know, with a friendship, could be with family along the way. But there's something about leaving, you know, growing and expanding. So I'm just noticing all these cards. I've picked up the deck and it's all upside down. So I'm just going to carry on and keep shuffling and see what's coming up for you. So, and there is here, I want to turn those ones up. See, now that one's turned up upside down. So maybe they're meant to be. So this one, yeah, so they're just talking about there's something there that it's time, in a way, it's time to like look at, you know, other pastures, or maybe time you may be resisting, or you're just, some of you may be, you know, contemplating that sort of thing. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I kind of feel like, you know, you are maybe feeling like it's all about, you know, you're not ready for it, but actually you may be feeling now more ready for it coming into February 2022. So the card here is number 30. So 30 for me talks about balance and finding that pivotal point of knowing when, you know, of balance, you know, and you know when you're there, and it's like, okay, I kind of feel like for a lot of you, it's like you've been sitting on the fence for a little while, and just until you figure out exactly, or you the thing, what you're thinking is what you are thinking is like, okay, it's not just, you know, a random thought. It's not like you're running away on an emotional whim and that sort of thing. And the emotion behind it is that, you know, I'm actually in a really, you know, good, calm space, and this feels more really right for me. So there may be a sense of, you know, not trusting your intuition. So your mind might have got in the way there. So, which is interesting. You know, they talk about the mind getting in the way. The Three of Swords. So it's in reverse there. So I feel like for me, you know, being in reverse, I'm going to read it in reverse in the sense that, you know, there is something, some sort of disappointment along the way there, but I feel like you've, you know, I'm going to pick it up, and, you know, as I pick it up, it's going to come up the right way. So it's like picking it up, and something is turning around for you. So don't hold yourself, don't let your head get in the way of past disappointments or something that it may have, that somebody may have said to you. Don't let things get in the background there that get in the way of you moving forward, because where there is a will, there is a way, you know what I mean? And I feel like this is about thinking outside of the square, or the circle or the box or the rectangle, whatever it is. It's, allowing yourself to shift it, and not carry that with you, but using that as your driving force. So that even though it is in reverse, I feel like that's more resistance from healing, going there and actually doing what it is that you need to do and finding a solution. So some of you may be feeling, may have got maybe starting to find these solutions or accept these solutions about what you've got to do, but maybe not have one ingredient or two, or feel like you have got it. But I feel like something is coming together for you. So I just want to say that I'm recording this on Tuesday the 24th of January 2022. So it may be more pertinent for you when you think back, or when you hear this, for you right now, if you're listening to this, in the day that I record this, or before February. And it may be, more you're understanding it there. So anyway, I'm going to turn that around. Now the next card here from this, this is like my energy oracle deck. So this one here, the next card is, actually no, I'll go back to 0. The 30 is like there's a starting point, or there's something new that you're learning, which makes total sense, of like, beginning something new. So it's like hop off the fence. You're either going to go this way or go that way, but not letting, whatever it is, your mind get in the way. So there's some sort of decision, but I feel like this is more about, getting off the fence basically, and doing, and following your intuition, or not making it harder than what it needs to be. Gosh, I've spent like a whole lot of minutes on that one, just one card. So the energy is there's something moving. Anyway, 27 here is walking away. So, and it's actually interesting, she's actually going through that gate, something is like you're walking away. So like I say, this is not necessarily like walking away from something on a negative, thing that may be going on. When I say like something that's not working out for you, not necessarily is that it is the case. So it could be something that you're just ready to move on, and so you're walking away from, what I'm hearing is like the mind chatter, okay, and you're going to give it a shot. So I feel like that's where they're going with that. Interesting, like she's opening the gate, so it's where our power is in, in walking through that gate, rather than being shoved through there. So it's a slightly different gate on this picture, but it may have something to do with relationships with yourself, like understanding yourself, because it's got 27 in there. 7 for me is about, creation, in the sense that, or creation, or that we're walking a turning point basically, and we're ready to move on from something. So it could be like old belief patterns for you. It could be like a work, relationship there, or, your boss career or something like that. Could actually be a romantic relationship, whatever it is, thinking outside of the square. I feel for some of you, there is definitely some sort of movement there. And that card's come, face up, so, or up the right way. Then we have Angel of Balance, because this is where I feel it's like something is balancing out, or find balance, or creating balance this month where you're in your mind, body, soul, spirit, soul, whichever way you want to look at that. But on the mental, emotional, and as well, when I talk about the mind, the mental and the emotional, bringing that together, finding some sort of balance. And next month is not far away, so you may be already in that process and understanding that. But the 48 here is the number there, so this is 4 for me is about direction and that. So there may be something going on with you at the moment about finding direction, or I'm not sure which direction you're going in. But what I'm hearing is like with 8 is like you are on a cycle, so it's like something is moving, or the infinity sign, something is moving. So it's like, and it's going to like you know, where there is a cycle when we go around, and we're going to go up, and then we're going to go around, and it's going to come up, and then we're going to find balance a bit more, and then we're going to learn something, and it might, you know, there is a cycle there. So anyway, I'm just not going to ramble on. They're moving quite quickly here for you in order to, so there may be a surge of energy that's coming up and finding in the direction where you're going. So I'm hearing like, you know, the balance is in the air, you know, air, earth, water, and the fire energies, you know, that side of things. But I'm also hearing balance in the compass as well. So where it is that you're finding balance, you know, the north, the east, the west, or the south, energy like that, whatever, you know, and you know, thinking laterally with that. But here's, you know, the angel of balance here. So I'm hearing like water may be a really good thing as well. Interesting, there's the blue there. Okay, and then we have, you know, blossoming abundance is balance. So there may be something, you know, and they're not just talking about the financial side of things here. It's like when we find that balance and we understand what that balance means for us, and, you know, when we're working and when we're working and we're walking along the path or the journey, you know, or the adventure that we're going on, it's like that brings in that sense of balance. But this is actually being, you know, being in our power, okay? I'm hearing like, yeah, once again, balance, finding and fine-tuning the balance of where it is for you. I'm feeling it's like the mind and, you know, that side of things in the body, because the mind can really, you know, being a Gemini myself, you know, can really, you know, be quite active. And there's, you know, not quite active with lots of things going on. So there's a bit of taming there, but I'm saying that it's like looking, you know, there's abundance there, and it's something is blossoming. So the mindset may be going towards that, and that there is abundance there, and abundance is blossoming. And I feel like they're talking about that right from the beginning, because you started with a 30 there, a 3, and I'm hearing like when I'm work with the 0, it's like the God force energy. You're coming back in the centering space to begin a new journey. So that's where I'm feeling with what I'm getting with that one. Okay, and then we have the angels here, like just adding in their bit as well. So I'm going to move on to these tarot cards here now, and there is like the 3 of Swords there. So there's like getting out of your mind, you know, like letting past, you know, disappointment stop you from moving forward. I'm going to put that there. The Ace of Wands here is in reverse, so there's something about, you know, maybe you've been holding off on moving on with a new idea or project, and there's a sense of abundance there, a sense of energy to get you moving. So it's like, you know, I feel like you may be resisting, you know, and also I'm feeling too, this is kind of connected to, well, you may be feeling a little bit stagnant and not, you know, with this Mercury energy going into retrograde. So there could be that. I feel like that is the other reason why some of these cards are in reverse. It may be feeling like you've not been able to move, feeling a little bit stagnant, or feeling like, oh, you know, just all this shit might have come up and you think, oh my God, I thought I dealt with that, or, you know, what is actually going on here, but it's for the learning and the journey. So taking that forward with you, okay? And then we have here the Strength, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Cups. So the Strength card, yeah, see, there's that there. So whatever has been going on and whatever is coming up, it's like drawing on that strength. But the Lion for me is about courage as well, and, you know, as well. So there she is with that line in front of her, and I feel like this is, you know, when I talk about in front of her, it's like there is a, you know, that deeper continuing courage and that strength within you is there. So utilizing that to the max, okay, with that one. So I'm just really, and that's come underneath, you know, the angel of balance. So that is what that is about, is that balance. So I feel like there's a partnership going on there, you know, the 11, because it's like number 11 here with the Roman numerals, and it's like, you know, there's something moving, you know, there's a new beginning where there may be a new partnership with yourself, and that's where the balance is like coming to balance within you, aligning the masculine and the feminine up for you, and utilizing both parts of you, or all areas of you. Because then we have the 8 of Pentacles. So, you know, there may be some new learning that you're resisting, you know, moving on to a new job or career in a way, but you know, that there is something out there, but I feel like that's turning around. So as you're bringing as balance, you know, as things start to balance out, the energy starts to balance out, I feel like you're starting to see, actually, I needed to go through that. I needed to, so I could understand what is actually going on. And it needed to be in that sort of speed because I may have missed something. And I feel like even now and up until, you know, even this whole month of January and, you know, going into February, it becomes together more for you, and you be able to bring things together more for you, probably, I would think. But the King of Cups there, he's sitting and he's in a calm, centered space, you know, even through emotions and things like that. So there is a, you know, an intuition, and when we're in that calm, centered space, it's like, you know, we're better able to connect with ourselves on an emotional level, on a mental level, on a physical level, soul and a spiritual level there. So he's coming through with this energy, you know, that of being, you know, I'm hearing mainly, there are other explanations that come with this card, but I'm feeling more, you know, centered and grounded and calm, you know, in that. So I noticed that the on this one they've got the Cancer, so you know, there may be a Cancer sign that is with you, with this one being a King of Cups, that is helping you to bring through that centered and calmness. But also the Strength card here is this lioness, could be a Leo energy that's with you as well. And but on saying that, I feel like it's more likely for a lot of you that it's bringing in that energy of the Strength card, as well as the King of Cups. So whether you are a female listening to this, it's not being gender specific, so it could be, you know, that like I say, that the King of Cups is in there to help you to get to that space and that understanding. And for some of you, so there's been a growth and understanding to get to that space, so they're just acknowledging that. So with this blossoming abundance, the Two of Pentacles is here, you know, it's talking about, you know, moving forward. There's an opportunity, and, you know, or a gift that comes your way of energy. Could be an energy, a burst of energy, that could be the gift, not necessarily that is like giving you the energy to move forward, or, you know, step into, you know, into something that is new, with us, like this one here, like you're going to open the gate and stepping in. And it may be like you may be watching your step and how you're stepping, where you're stepping, and it could be to do, you know, with about family, finances, health and well-being. It could be the whole kit and caboodle, around career, about where it is that, you know, like you're wanting to go and how that might look, because I'm hearing planning. And, you know, or like strategic, you know, doing something, a strategy or a system, building a system. And, you know, you're taking the next step into that space. So what I'm hearing is, you know, in the card that's aligned up with that is find your truth in the matter. Know it, be at peace with it, then make your choice. So it's like with that one, okay? But it's also connected to this. Your power is within you. Stand tall, head up, shoulders back, arms stretched out, smile, look forward and look up. So hold your head up, look forward into the future, or even across to the horizon. But it's like, you know, whatever it is keep looking, you know, forward rather than down, because you're going to, like, you know, okay, you're going to be watching where you're going, and that's all good, but not always down, but like keep it there. So you have a peripheral view, all around view. If you're looking down, you're going to have to, like, you can't see what's upcoming ahead as well. Okay, and then surround yourself in blue and or white light. At the moment, there's a lot of freaky energy around, and you may be feeling it, so that it's just like being mindful of that. Okay, so I'm just going to take another card from this deck here. No, I'm going to this one here, which is the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that I'm going to use here, just to follow up with these cards here. So I'm not going to do, you know, go too much longer and pull out too many more cards. These are just to like give a little bit more clarification, but I feel like this is basically about the main thing, what could be, you know, coming up for you, what that's talking about coming up for you next month. Okay, there's 3 cards in that lot. The Star. Okay, hope, inspiration. You are the hope and the inspiration, and not only for you but for others. I would say, like, looking after your energy here, and, you know, with this here, surround your life, yourself in blue and white light. As well, I'm just joined to the white light there, but the stars are symbolic of chakras. So connecting with your chakras, you know, and clearing your chakras would be really, really helpful. I have my granddaughter over there, so if you did hear that drop, that she's like dropped something, so that's what that's about. And she's just had an accident. Anyway, the Knight of Wands. So there's something, the Ace of Wands. So there's something, and you're walking away. So that talks about movement, the Knight of Wands. So it's the sense of, you know, going and doing something and taking a punt of yours on yourself, Gemini. So, which, you know, it could lead to some success, but depends, you know, sooner or later, you know, then depends on the energy or the amount of energy that you put in, and depends on, you know, how you work with that. The Queen of Wands. So, like, you know, there's all this, she's like, you know, she's like the Queen of Magic, you know, making things happen, but not making just as in forcing, but, you know, making it happen, bringing it together, researching, you know, digging, you know, not just out books and that, but with her own stuff, bringing it all together. Because I feel like, you know, and the fact that, interesting that there is, like, these are lined up one after the other. That's like there is something is lining up or lining up for you. So don't, you know, don't miss it. You know, you know, do what you need to do to be in that space. So you, because I'm hearing, like, don't, you know, push away what you think may not be an opportunity, like right now or something like that is what I'm feeling. It's like, work at it. It takes a little bit of work to work at it, but it's like, I feel like on saying that you've got something, you know, enough there in your kite of knowledge and your basket of knowledge or your box of knowledge, there that's enough to get something or take the next step into doing something that you're wanting to do. And it may be feeling like a little bit out of your depth, some of you may be feeling, or you may be feeling, oh gosh, I haven't got all the right resources and everything, or equipment. It's like you've got something, like Spirit of State is to start with, to continue and grow from, on that. So I'm feeling like some of you are like developing or improving skill sets, you know, knowledge, you know, doing more research with something, whatever that is. I feel like there's something moving, but I'm hearing, like, you know, with you know, with some, you know, with some hope, but using your own inspiration as well as others on saying that. But there is a lot of inspiration out there, but they keep drawing me back to the chakras and the stars. So connecting with Mother Earth as well. I'm seeing like this big star here is Mother Earth, but also, you know, the cosmic energy is aligning up. Something is aligning up, but clearing your energies and connecting with yourself, basically. The Knight of Wands is here. He talks about movement, so it's in search of something, but in search of, you know, creating, you know, building on whatever it is. So what else do I need to build on, you know, whatever I'm doing, you know. So he's on an adventure. I love this because there's the unicorn, and I'm drawn to the unicorn. He's creating magic, making magic in the sense of utilizing whatever he knows and bringing it to the people, to whatever, to whoever it is. Could be people on a smaller level, larger scale, could be people in your family, could be, you know, yourself on saying that, but it's like there is something that is expanding out there. So I feel like that's about expansion as well. And, you know, taking that idea and not so much running with it, but moving with it, researching it, or that energy. But something is sparked up on a journey or an adventure with this Ace of Wands here. And it talks about that, like walking away or walking toward or whatever, depending on how you walk away, word that or see that for you. Queen of Wands, yep. So once again, like I say, she's there too, you know, it's about magic, creating it, doing it. She's like very, I would say, you know, there's the energy that's coming through is like determined to, like, you know, to create what it is that she needs to make it happen, basically. But like I say, it's not like force it happen, but do what she needs to do to, you know, but she's also clever, you know, at, you know, releasing what does not serve and what isn't going to work as well. So there's a business, you know, it is like shifting the, she's like clever, and like, because I'm hearing like shifting the mindset to do with not making it all about her, but all about what else, you know, what else is possible. Not all about what else is possible, that came out wrong, but about what else is possible as well, and looking from another point of view as well. So you get a wider range, basically. Okay, what is the last card that's coming out here? Okay, the Hierophant. So it's gonna I feel like this is like it's gonna take you on a different, on a spiritual journey, because everything for me is like, you know, I'm going on a spiritual journey, but I'm going on a soul journey as well. And I'm also going, you know, it's all encompassing really, but I feel like this could be some of you to do with your spiritual work. Some of you may be working in this line of work as well, and some of you maybe, some of you maybe just going on, not just, sorry, some of you may be saying you're just going on it, and some of you are not, the other way around, because it just flew out of my mouth then, so it's like I have to go back and honor that. So this is what it could be about as well, is like honoring something that you're needing to do as well. So some of these, this is about is about like picking up something that you may have laid down before, and working with it. Now the spirit on this, and some of you that could be going on this spiritual journey, and you may have just said, oh, it's just a spiritual journey. That's where they're going with that, but it's more than that. Some of you, like I say, is an expansion of your spiritual journey, but going on maybe going on a deeper level, maybe you're learning something new about your spirituality with you, and which is what we're all doing in a way, and with everything that's going on in the world, with everything that's maybe going on in your family and your business, and with yourself, or just what you're healing with yourself. But there's something about looking energy as well, and they're talking about your energy levels as well, balancing that. So as you're moving through and taking these steps and you're building your plan, it's like I kind of feel like there is something about building into your plan or your idea, about where you're going to go in your system, is keeping it light is what I'm hearing, and not heavy, but also keep taking into account your spiritual side of you as well. Okay, so some of you that may be a little out of balance why they're talking about that, but also there's something blossoming in that as well. And maybe you're feeling something's out of balance because you've like released something because of that, moving away from something, but it's taking you to that space. And so I feel like there's something all encompassing there. Okay, wow. Anyway, I am going to leave it there for you now, Gemini, with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, and adventure. And that comes from like the angels, the otherworldly energies, as well as the amazing tarot energy from the two different decks that I've used here. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Bye for now.